Peace, family. We're back this week with another special guest. If you're joining us on YouTube, don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit that notification bell to be updated on new drops of content. We appreciate everybody joining us on Anchor and on listening platforms, iHeartRadio. This is the DOA TBM podcast, and I am Fuzzy Neutron representing for BackThatOnline.com. And we're joined this week with an exclusive guest, and this is James Wright the third, my bad, who is
Yeah.
wait, you the first on the platform, the first James Wright we had. So he represented with us
Man,
once again, man, and he back actually quite ironically. I think this for the third time he gracing us. So James Wright the third, what's good?
man, alhamdulillah, man. First and foremost, man. But I'm cool, man. What's good? Peace, bro.
Yeah, peace, man. We're definitely, happy to have you back on the platform. I know you joined me and T Judy the other day, and we spoke about some of the things that are going on within the hip hop community. Primarily, the murder of young Dolph and a few things that have spanned off the back of that. And this picks up on some conversation that we had planned on having anyway. So I'm definitely looking forward to getting into this concept, which is gangsterism unchained. We're going to be looking at the culture. We're going to be looking at the mindset, the psyche, and breaking the psychological chains, so on and so forth. So, tell us a bit about this concept that you have around breaking the psychological chains of gangsterism.
Well, I would say probably about at least 10 years ago, um, I was on lockup, man, for a stabbing, for an institutional stabbing, something that happened back here. And one of my partners, man, in particular, man, before this incident in particular occurred, me and him had a real serious conversation just about change, um, about the mindset. And I was a part of some programs at the time back here dealing with uh, Black liberation movements, Pan African movements, uh, Rastafarian classes, and and I was just being exposed to so many different things, man. And then I had checked out Hidden Colors. You ever watch Hidden Colors?
Yeah. Tariq Nasheed documentaries definitely got a lot of powerful information.
Yeah, and just a lot of the things that and people be like, dudes come to prison and they got this thing to where they be like it's jailhouse talk, and be like, oh, he waited till he come to prison, to you know want to act like he's intelligent, want to act like he's all of these other things. But sadly, like Malcolm X said, the penal system is the closest thing to a college for the black man, is the closest thing to a university for the black man, you know and it's sad, man, because when we're out in society, we don't have the access to, well, we have the access, but we're not exposed. We're not properly exposed to the things that you end up being exposed to back here because of the diversity. You end up meeting so many different people. The demographics inside the prison system is crazy. You have so many different people from so many different walks of life, and it's so much information, and you got a lot of time on your hand to really analyze things, to really critique things, and so it's a force situation. It forces you, to either gonna just be a druggie or whatever, or you're gonna get caught up inside the productive things. But anyway, man, after that incident in particular, I was like, dang, man, I got to change, man. I'm too intelligent. I'm too talented. I have to, I have to start leading by example. And I always had influence. I always was influential, so I was like, man, I got to step up to the plate, man, and start, being a better leader, man, and being a more positive influence over the individuals that I have influence over. So I came up with I took the OG, and I was like, man, I want to do something with the OG, and instead of the OG denoting signifying an original gangster, I wrote a concept surrounding an organized gentleman. So this is what my OG dynasty signifies, and I started brainstorming and wondering, and like while I was on lockup, man, I had so much time on lockup, I was like, where did this come from? Where did this come from? Where did this mindset come from? Where did this mentality come from? And I just started thinking, like, where did it come from? And I went back like as far as the 60s, the 70s, the 80s, and I realized, man, because slavery was right around the corner, and black people ain't been no gangsters, so this didn't come about until the event of what them Italians had going on, with, the mafia syndicate. And I was like, man, but what we ended up doing, Ben, we ended up being so attracted to that image and what Hollywood, put out there on behalf of these mobsters. And, black people, man, we've been in impoverished environments, we didn't have nothing, then in the 80s and stuff like that, when the crack era came, when crack been introduced to things, you know what I'm saying? And people, we adopted a totally different mindset. But what was so crazy about it is that we were never organized. Those crime families were organized, you know what I'm saying? And they didn't did none of the stuff that we did. They didn't went about their gangsterism the way that we go about gangsterism. They did a lot of evil things, devilish things, or whatever. But man, still, it been for the upliftment of the Italians, for their people. You know what I'm saying? So like, they never performed like how we ended up performing, man. And we went so far as we even changed the way how they had the gangster word. We turned the word gangster with the ER. We took the ER off it, put an A on it, turn it into some swag and some slang, and just start thugging with it, killing each other, doing crazy stuff. And, it wasn't productive at all. It didn't do nothing but tear us down as a people, man, and made us look fool. So I started just critiquing around that, and I was like, man, but what I call the write-up was breaking the psychological chains of gangsterism, man. And because, man, we have to start like pushing a different agenda. If we start pushing a different agenda, bro, we we can get away. And again, like I don't to be all the way honest, I don't even think that, me personally, I can't speak for nobody else, man, but I don't think it's a solution. It's a solution, but the solution that everybody, would like to be the solution is not going to be the solution, and we can preach, but until all of us come together, and it have to be, and something else I said in the last chat that we had, speaking about one of the individuals that was inside Hidden Colors, one of the doctors that was inside Hidden Colors, Dr. Umar, these types of people, propagate, this type of stuff. But the thing about it is that, our youth don't want to hear it from those people. They want to hear, it coming from Boosie. They want to hear it coming from Moneybag Yo. They want to hear it coming from Yo Gotti. They want to hear it coming from, people like me that's inside, the type of situation that I'm in. They want to hear it from the OGs. They want to hear it from the people that have that really got the influence on the culture. Until that happened, not having one foot in and one foot out, you go into a public school and you're speaking about change and what we need to do, but then you go right back in the studio and you rap all this murder stuff and you record, these violent videos brandishing assault rifles, talking about promoting and propagating murder, mayhem, chaos. Until that stop, it'll never be a solution. Until I stop and we come together. And bro, and I did it first. Even with my platforms, I deleted all of the rap music, the gangster. And I'm not against hip hop. I love hip hop. I'm a rapper. I love music. You know what I'm saying? But What I won't do is propagate that. I won't push that agenda, and I'm not supporting it no more. But so if we can get back to the creative side of it, and start putting different things in the music, more educational things in the music. Rap about real estate that y'all investing in. Why the rappers ain't, why y'all ain't just going hard with this instead of just rapping about killing one another. So this is what the breaking the psychological chains of gangsterism is, man. And the youth, man, the young guys, man, they need to feel it's okay to articulate. It's okay to be articulate. It's okay to sit with your leg crossed. If I sit with my leg like this, you gonna call me a punk. But you see Barack Obama sit like this is no problem. You see Jay-Z sit like this is no problem. So this is how, this is how messed up we is, psychologically, man. And we have to break this indoctrination. We have to, bro. We have to break the way we've been conditioned to think like this. It's okay, man, to be cool.
I mean, with that being said, I mean, what percentage do you think music has a part to play in this? Because we've seen recently with the tragic murder of young Dolph and others, and people allege that they feel as though the hip hop music and a certain violent aspect of some of the lyrics or demeanor behind the mannerisms of the artist is problematic.
I would say it's a I would say it's 70. I would say it's at least 75% of the music. And the reason why I say that is because that's what we take in the most. We listen to this all day, and again, it goes back to assimilation. What assimilation is, assimilation is this is scientifically proven of how assimilation works, and it starts while you're inside the womb of your mother, when you're connected to that umbilical cord. And this is how ideologies is formed. This is how the tongue is formed. This is, so everything that you hear, regardless of we're consciously aware of how we're taking these things in, it's affecting us in ways subconsciously that we're not even consciously aware of, that is affecting us. So if all your head that's banging in your head all day, and this music move people, you can look around the world and just different cultures, go to Africa or whatever, and just, see, inside the tribalism, how the music, the chants move people. Even in the church, people wonder how, they just catch what they call the Holy Ghost. People don't realize how, that music can excite the spirit. This is real, So the music is a big part. I feel, and you got some people that be like, well, it starts in the household. It does. But like I told you prior, with my situation, bro, I had a pops, what I'm saying, after I ran away from the last foster home that I was in, and went to live with him, he didn't allow me to be out in the streets late. He didn't allow me to sell drugs as, some of my friends, parents allowed them to do. I was rebellious. I wanted to go out in the streets. Man, I ran away from his rule just to hang out, to go sell drugs and to ride around in stolen cars and to sell crack and all of this extra stuff. So I was more influenced by the lyrics that I was listening to from No Limit, from Master P, C Murder. I was more influenced by their lyrics over what, my pops was telling me. I didn't want to hear that shit. So man, what we take in, so we're gonna, especially, the youth from impoverished environments, we're gonna be more attracted to what we see around us. We're gonna be, because if you living inside a impoverished state, bro, and you seen drug dealers coming through in Mercedes Benzes with, nice flashy shiny rims and all types of gold jewelry on it, nice clothes, and you walking around with busted shoes on, getting teased by the kids in the school, man, you won't be like the dope man. That's what the fuck I wanted to be like.
Yeah, no, I'm with you. I mean, I got a couple of questions with that. Is that why some Orthodox Muslims don't listen to music, or they say that they ban it
Yeah.
in their households because they feel as though it could be used to sway people to, follow different ideologies and stuff. And
Right.
yeah,
Go ahead,
and
brother.
the second question was, you mentioned just like listening to Master P and No Limit and certain artists. There's been a famous blogger called Charleston White who has spoken about similar stuff, and he feels or has said vocal things like that in the past, that listening to some music like that made him want to be a drug dealer. So, what do you think of that? And Charleston White and the work that he does?
Well, first and foremost, damn, I kind of lost my train of thought. What was the first question again?
The first question was just in regards to Muslims listening to music and
Yeah,
stuff, and
right,
some
right,
say
right.
it's
Well,
not permissible.
well, for for the Muslims, that stand under the branch of Al Islam, music is forbidden. Music is against the Sunnah, which is the ways of the Prophet, and is highly, recommended that we stay away from music because it's a tool of the shaitan. You feel what I'm saying? Again, so with that being said, for those of us that are Muslims, we don't supposed to be riding around banging rap. We don't supposed to be riding around banging and doing none of this crazy stuff. You feel what I'm saying? Because again, the music, and so and one thing about me, I'm Muslim, right? But I try not to just put certain things out there on the people, and when I do, I always say, well, it's from an Islamic perspective, and even when I spoke out about, and made those posts that I made on my platform, I didn't say it's because it's how I'm thinking Islamically. I even had somebody that, I just completely just had to block because he wanted to go do some back and forth, on Instagram about, oh, you want to cancel hip hop, you want to cancel rap, and he just made all of these excuses for it. And I was just like, bro, I'm not here to argue, and I'm not gonna argue with you inside no comments, you know what I'm saying? And I left it at that. But again, one of the things that that one of my primary causes, for going back to this is because I just understand it differently. I know, how music, incites, it's a tool of the shaitan, man. It's a tool of the devil, bro. It's a tool of the devil, bro. And regardless of what we promote, regardless of what we propagate, if we still got this type of music that we're putting out there, but we're telling the kids, all of this positive stuff on this hand, but then we're going back and we're rapping, the crazy stuff on this hand. You already know that the evil is always more attractive. Evil is always going to be more stronger than good, than anything positive. So that's what they're going to gravitate towards. So yeah, Muslims, we don't supposed to, we don't we music is forbidden in Islam. And the other question was, what was it again about Charleston White, bro?
The other question was in regards to Charleston White, because you made a point about, you said the music that you was listening to had an influence on the decisions that you made. You said that you didn't want to listen to parents and such. You was rebellious listening to certain hip hop. Now Charleston White, he's made statements saying that he has had similar experiences when he came out of jail, and he was listening to certain music, and it made him want to go out and do certain things in the streets a lot more, because that was the culture of the music. He's also made a lot of outlandish statements about how he feels the black community let themselves down in certain aspects of stuff. So he's quite a controversial figure. But for somebody who's coming from the penal system and the prison system too, and advocates the wanting to see a change and positive development, what are your thoughts on his character and the statements that he's made?
Man, the irony in that is crazy because I haven't, I saw a lot of his material, but I haven't gotten a chance to see that one in particular. So if he did say something about the music or whatever, I didn't run across. He got so
Yeah,
much
he said it
content.
on DJ Vlad. He said listening to Master P and Get OD album and Make Crack Like This and songs like this, like that, I should say, made him want to get in
Man,
the dope
wow,
game.
wow, that's crazy. I gotta check that out. I gotta check that out, man. Definitely. But that's ironic. But yeah, it's true. it's definitely true, man. And you know, as far as Charleston is concerned, man, man, I remember when, you know, I first reached out to him, you know, and the crazy thing about it is that when I reached out to him, bro, I probably only had saw about one or two of his interviews, you know, and I really just reached out to anybody, was reaching out to anybody celebrity wise that, you know, had a big platform, or that, man, my only where this is going at is beyond me. This is how I know that this is a divine intervention, because when I reached out to all of these celebrities that I done got connected with, that I'm reaching out to, the only thing been in my mind been, man, how I can get y'all to book promotion, book promotion, book promotion. Let me pay y'all to do some book promotion. And, you know, they just ended up, you know, gravitating towards my situation, just being taken aback by, you know, what I actually have going on. And it just end up just building the establishing the craziest relationships. But so I didn't know who he was. I didn't know that he made outlandish statements towards Muslims. I didn't know he made outlandish statements towards the prophets. I didn't know that he made outlandish statements to all of these other people, all of these other organizations. I didn't know. So one day I got a call from him, you know, and I don't answer strange numbers or numbers, just like how our situation been, you know, and I just, something just was like, man, answer this call. And it was you, you know, and I was like, whoa, you know, so the same thing happened with his situation. You know, I already had done reached out to so many people strategically, which he was one of them, but I wasn't expecting, such a fast, you know, contact from him, you know. So when I answered the call, man, it was him. And he was like, yo, what's up, homie? This Charleston, you know? And I was like, oh, what's up, bro? You know, and you know, we started talking and stuff like that, man. And I told him, you know, what I was, you know, trying to reach out to him for or whatever. And he said something in the conversation, man. We spoke for about a good 30 minutes, man. And he was just like, man, your energy is just crazy, man. I just feel something is just more of a divine working with me meeting you, you know? And he said, man, to be all the way honest, man, I don't even have no Muslim homies. You know, he said, you would be the first Muslim homie that I have. And it went over my head because I didn't know about the other stuff that's on the internet. You know what I'm saying? So I didn't even pay it no attention at the time. It, like I said, it went over my head. And we got into some other things about what he wanted to do with my situation. You know what I'm saying? As far as, you know, this gangsterism concept podcast, and you know, a variety of other things, you know, and boom, and we took off from there. So later on that night, I went back and did some homework, you know what I'm saying, started researching, you know, back checking, you know, and man, and the stuff that, you know, I saw, I was like, whoa, you know. And honestly, it made me apprehensive. You know, I was like, dang, man, I don't know if I want to, you know, being where I am, coming from where I come from, you know. And I was like, dang, bro, you talking about breaking the psychological chains of gangsterism. So if I make this decision, you know, then I'm still thinking with that same mindset. You feel what I'm saying? So I started looking at it from a more divine perspective. Like, man, this can really be great. And what people is, you know, where a lot of the conflict come at with people in Charleston, right? And you know, I understand a lot of stuff that he's saying. I respect a lot of stuff that he's saying. And although there may be things that, you know, I disagree with, it ain't much, you know what I'm saying? But although there may be things that I disagree with, man, I see his mission. I see his mission. I see his mission, and he's strategic. The brother is intelligent. He's intelligent, bro. You know, he's more intelligent than 98% of the internet. You know what I'm saying? So of course, uh, a lot of the things that he's saying is going to go over their heads. You know, and it was something else that I mentioned about, he calls himself a shock jock, right? And I understand shock therapy. Sometimes, bro, the culture, we first and foremost, we need a cultural shock, right? As long as we got people, that go about things articulately, intelligently, when we're dealing with ignorant people, we're never gonna penetrate what we need to penetrate. You feel what I'm saying? So if all we always got, bro, is people talking like Dr. Umar and Martin Luther King, peace and blessings be upon him, Malcolm X, and even though Malcolm X was a more he went about his his methods with more vigor, still yet it wasn't enough to really shock what needed to be shocked. And dealing with this generation that we in, bro, when everything is just about, killing and Dracos and, all of this other crazy stuff, bro, we need, like, the reasons why he's so sensational right now is because he's shocking everybody. It's a shock. He's disrespecting the Bloods. He's disrespecting the Muslims. But the thing about it is that when you see the underpinnings of how he's attacking the situation, it makes sense, and as far as what he said about, the Muslims, there's Muslims that do community stuff, but who actually steps up aggressively? Where's the aggression? There's no bro. There's no aggression, and it done been times I've been sitting here, saw the George Floyd situation happen, and I've been like, man, when the fuck we going? Like, man, stop, And I went off, bro. I even got blocked on Facebook, put me in Facebook jail, locked my account, and all types of stuff. Because of how I felt, and I was like, man, why y'all out there rallying? Y'all just sitting around with signs and all type of shit. Why y'all ain't doing, like, why y'all? And I wanted them to do something more aggressive, you know what I'm saying? And here this guy go, boom. And this is what we need, bro. This is what we need, man. And and as far as how he go about addressing the organizations and how he addresses the deceased rappers and stuff, I don't agree with that, but that's his method, but then the thing about it, even though I don't agree with it, I understand it because he's separating the characters, and this is what people aren't doing with him on these social media platforms. They're not separating the character. His persona as an internet character is, he makes a living doing that, but bro, he's a full-time activist that out there in the street that's putting it down. So he's really, living what he speaks, man. So he's an embodiment of his persona on offline. When he's in the streets, bro, he actually, he got things that he's doing for the justice, for the juvenile system and all types of stuff, man. So he's somebody that's really handling his business and out there, not just somebody that's online just talking about change, but he's actually going about doing it, and he's attacking the areas that, people scared to attack. And again, I'll never, just blatantly disrespect the dead. I'm not going to do it, man. Peace and blessings upon everybody, and the greatest respect. But I understand how he separates the character, like I can't remember Aramis or whatever Nipsey Hussle name is. Peace and blessings be upon the brother. From the character Nipsey, he's Nipsey to the fans, and then he's Aramis to his family. So he addresses two different situations, and people might not understand it, but this is how his mind works. And it may not work for everybody, but for the most part, just like Allah says inside the Quran, taking one life, killing one person is like killing all of mankind, and saving one life is like saving all of humanity. None of us would be able to change this completely, bro, in totality. But as long as we can just reach one, two, a couple, a few, then that's all that matter at the end of the day, man. We just need to just strive to reach who we can reach, man, and who we can't, man, just fuck it. And the sad reality, a lot of this, and I'm gonna be one of the first to say it, the sad reality of our situation, bro, dealing with you know, those of us that's still caught up in the mind state of gangsterism just have to die off, because you can, man, you can tell people the most intelligent things in the most intelligent ways, in the most articulate ways, and they're still not going to grasp it because they got black spots all over their heart dead. And this is when we're talking about the dumb, deaf, and the blind. These are those individuals. So sadly, they gotta die. Those niggas have to die. Period, bro. They're a disease, bro. They're a cancerous disease that gotta be fucked up.
We got brother T Judah under checking. What's good with you, sir?
All right. Salute. What's up, brother, man? How you doing?
Salute,
Fine,
bro. Peace, bro.
Yeah, man. Your situation, bro, man. Me and Fonzo was talking off the record, man. Your situation. I had no idea that you was in that situation. You know what I'm saying?
Oh, and, what situation? Of incarceration.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, you know what?
Bro.
Especially, you know, like our teachers checked, and that's a good point. And we're looking at exploring this this whole concept. So, you know, in terms of even your situation and stuff, then where do you think this whole psyche of you know, gangsterism had a part to play, or did it have a part to play, and where do you see its effects within the prison system?
Well, you know, even, you know, and I don't want to seem hypocritical, you know, because I'm always the first person that you know, I always step out my shit, and this is how I grow so fast. Like I can wake up tomorrow with and be elevated way beyond where I'm elevated at now. Change with me happens like instantaneously, bro. Like if I put my mind to something and I just like, man, James, flip that switch, flip, you know. So, bro, I'm gonna be the first to say, man, you know, even up until recently, man, I was still, even though I had all of these ideas and concepts and stuff like that, you know, for all of these years, it still took me a long time to mature into it, you know. And I'm just recently really maturing into it to where I just like, man, screw everything, man. And, you know, I'm disassociating myself from this, I'm disassociating myself from that, and really, you know, being who I'm supposed to be, you know, in my leadership. So caught up in that mindset of gangsterism is what got me inside the predicament that I'm in now, fighting for my life. You know what I'm saying? Because had I, you know, listened to the people that was trying to guide me aright, and I'm not gonna sit here and say that there was nobody trying to guide me aright. I had my aunt that was trying to guide me aright. My daddy, even though, you know, he's was, you know, caught up with what he was caught up with, he still tried to guide me aright. My mom tried to guide me aright. You know, I had people from orphanages and group homes that I've been in trying to guide me aright. I was just rebellious. Again, I was more attracted to what I was assimilating. So, and even being back here for a long time, bro, you know, I was still a part of the problem, bro, you know. And even though I had all of this productive stuff going on, still trying to, you know, man, somebody asked me one time, and I had a situation, and I was leaning up in the threshold of my door in this dorm in particular, and this guy, he's drinking some wine, but he's looking at me back and forth, you know, and I'm watching him look at me back and forth. So he ended up walking around, you know, and we never talked, but we still had we had a cordial rapport. So he walked around the top tier and he came towards my room and he stuck his hand out, you know, and he been like, man, peace, G's, man. You know, he said, man, what's up, bro? Like, man, right here cooling out. And he was like, man, I just got a question, man. He said, I want to ask you something, man. He said, man, why? And he said, man, don't take offense to this, bro. But he said, man, I want you to think about this, man. He said, why every time something happened, the first thing come to your mind is kill? This is always your first response, bro. He said, man, I fuck with you the long way, bro. But he said, think about that. You know, he shook my hand and he kept it moving, drinking his wine. You know, and that stuck with me, man. You know what I'm saying? And it done been so many situations that it wasn't even necessary for me to respond how I responded. You know, and I don't even want to sit in this interview, man, and even, you know, talk about some of the things that even happened along the way, because I don't want it to seem as if I'm glorifying some of the things that I did, you know. And even if I said some of the things that I did since I've been back here, you know, people probably be like, man, he lying, you know, ain't no way he was doing those things. And I'm one of the smallest. I've never been over 142 pounds in my life. You know, I'm one of the smallest dudes inside this prison, you know. Word, but you know, but again, I don't want to just get into all of that, you know, like
Yeah, no,
I'm
it's
trying to,
interesting.
but
There's another brother called Wallow. I don't know if you're familiar with him, but he usually shares some of his experiences on the Nothing But Game podcast for the hip hop community and for the young generation. He recently shared a story on what it was, on one of the podcasts where he spoke about some of his time during when he was locked down in prison. And he said one of his cellmates said to him one time, how long did it take? And he said he wasn't sure what the guy meant at first. And the guy said, how long did it take? And he said, the guy looked at his incident, whatever it took to get him locked up, and said, it took maybe 3 minutes of time in order for you to get this amount of time here in terms of, how long the incident took. And he said only at that time did he put it in perspective that, like, if he had fought in that situation, thinking about things differently, just how 3 minutes of your life could cost you 20 years of your life in some cases or some stuff like that. And, it was quite interesting. So Wallow, he definitely shares a lot of those experiences and stuff on the
right.
Nothing But Game podcast and, throughout media and stuff. Is that something you could see yourself doing, like utilizing your voice and your story to teach others who have been in certain situations and even young people to help them avoid some of these pitfalls?
As far as Wallow, man, I meant to background him, man, and look up, man, who he was, but I'm familiar with him, but not in depth, and man, I was just about to to get more into his situation and see what he had going on and potentially reach out to him, but man, I ended up just getting hit with some of the craziest situations over the past couple of weeks, man. You know what I'm saying? My best friend died, man. Rest in peace, man. Archie Ball, man. Like Archie Jackson, man. Rest in peace, bro. Yeah. And then right after that, man, I got in contact with his sister, man, and they just found their younger sister dead on the side of the road, bro. And it just it like, I never been affected by death, bro. Like, it never bothered me. Not to say that I don't care when people die, but I have family members that pass, and it's just like, man, it don't bother me. Never even felt a mustard seed of nothing, but this really bothered me, man. And it wasn't just those deaths, man. Every time, I'll get a call. I've been getting calls over the past couple of weeks, man, just about so many different people that been dying, man. You know what I'm saying? Out our neighborhood, man, and the number is dramatic, and I was just like, oh man, like, damn, like, and talking to her kind of broke me down, and I even kind of felt like she would be suicidal. I reached out to her brother and was just like, man, and I even asked her if she had somebody around her, that was there to console her, just in fear of like her probably doing something to hurt herself, because it was just too much to bear. And it broke my heart, man. It broke my heart, man. And it kind of, it kind of, and this is why I wasn't able to, so I'm in part of an investment group, and and man, I had to hit them up and be like, man, like, I'm trying to do all of this stuff, and I'm just like being hit with these bricks right now, and I'm trying. I got the situation of my incarceration as, the world on my shoulders as it is with that, and then just all of these other things, man. It was kind of just too much, man. So I really didn't pay anything else attention and never got around to the Wallow situation, man. So.
Okay. I mean, recently we seen the reports of the death of Alpo Martinez. Now, Alpo Martinez was famously known for being a Harlem drug dealer who went on to testify against some of his former associates. And, he actually murdered some of his friends over money and drugs, amongst other things. Now, we're talking about gangsterism and the identity where it's in one aspect, some of those antics are glorified to some, whereas others may look at them as reprehensible. However, he was out for a period of time and he was recently, murdered, which we don't know the full situation. Some say it was allegedly over a female. However, one of the things that it springs a lot of discourse around is the whole snitching concept. And when we think of, it's like I said, gangsterism and some things being supported within the community in some aspects, we've always seen snitching as a no. Do you feel as though this is something that hurts the community, to stop snitching culture, or do you think it's something that's applicable for people like Alpo who were actually involved in criminal activities? Or do you think, like, in a situation where somebody's a law-abiding citizen of their community and they witness something, do you feel that they should be able to, get the help and support needed like everybody else, or they should be bound to a not snitching code?
I'm gonna answer that like this, bro. As far as the individuals that's caught up in criminal activity, you're bound by a code. You feel what I'm saying? So if you commit a crime with some individuals and y'all go on a robbery or whatever y'all go do, kill somebody together or whatever, and you get locked up, bro, or you've been out there selling drugs and you get locked up, bro, you need to go do your fucking time. You need to go do your time. You know what I'm saying? Nobody else should have to, be caught up inside a situation, because you're caught up inside a situation, and that's exclusive for the criminals. So when you get involved in a certain type of lifestyle, bro, you have to, you got to stick to these codes, and if you go against these codes, then whatever happens to you in the lifestyle of gangsterism should happen to you. As far as model citizens that's living a productive life, they're not criminals. You can't say of a model citizen call a police. They ain't no snitch. You can't call them a snitch.
I agree.
They're performing a civil duty. This is what they're supposed to do.
That's right.
This is what they're supposed to do. The two are not the same. You know what I'm saying? So you can't beat nobody down that's a model citizen that get caught up. I mean, that see a crime and report it. That's what model citizens do. And if you expect anything else, then you're delusional. You're delusional.
I think there's a huge emphasis sometimes with some people in the community feel as though, they're silenced, or sometimes they fear reprisals. I mean, I heard you chime in slightly, T. You got any points on that topic?
Well, bro, I think, with the snitching thing, I think that a lot of people didn't see that was all started by that. I think those Italians originally started that, I think, but somehow I think these record executives sold it to the rappers to sell to the general public, which is mainly the people in our culture, mainly the younger people, but a lot of the older guys know better. You know what I'm saying? The elders, they know better, but the young ones, they more influenced because they still wet behind the ears, young folk. But long story short, man, like brother was saying, man, if somebody breaking in my neighbor's house, you know what I'm saying, or somebody doing something like you know what I'm saying, trying to do something, or assault a woman or assault a guy, it's my job to stop that. You know what I'm saying? Like, your neighbor getting assaulted, you mean to tell them, you'll say, man, I ain't snitching. So yeah, it is different aspects of that, snitching stuff, and that's just ignorant, man. Like the hip hop, some elements of the rap community, because we know hip hop and rap is different. But yeah, man, it's just ignorance, man. You know what I'm saying?
Man, that's so crazy, man. The snitching thing that got so crazy to, they call anybody a snitch now. You can't even sneeze the wrong way without being called a snitch. To me, man, snitching is if you commit a crime, if you're a criminal or crook and you commit a crime, or the feds come and scoop your ass up, for and indict you for selling all these keys, and then you try to take the whole team down, nigga, that's snitching.
Yeah, I agree on that. That right there.
That's snitching. That's snitching. That's what a snitch is.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying?
You ain't taking
that's what a snitch is. Or you already locked up and you hear about a murder, And now you trying to contact the DEA and all these other people to report this murder that you know about. That's snitching. That's snitching. That's what snitching is. You know what I'm saying? All this other shit that they got going on, I don't know. But as far as regular people, man, that just, productive members of society, they just performing a civil duty. That's what they're supposed to do.
Yeah, bro. Hey, remember when T.I. Now they was talking about T.I. snitch. Remember T.I. homeboy for murder, right? And that's his dog. I mean, who wouldn't try to assault that crime? See, these brothers, man, always trying to keep it street, man. But that's why we got a lot of dead people now.
And but see, that's the thing. I don't know the ramifications, surrounding the T.I. situation, right? But what I still would say in that situation is when you rapping about a certain thing and you're living a certain type of life, there's just certain things that you're not supposed to do, regardless if it been your homeboy. It don't matter if it been your brother, because this is the code that we. We chose this life. Ain't nobody put them guns in our hand and put a gun in our head and be like, well, go sell these keys and go bust this gun.
I mean, a couple of questions to that. I mean, one point, I know T.I. was allegedly, he was working with, I think, the Atlanta police and stuff, and just, in terms of helping promote like a crime stoppers sort of hotline and stuff like that. Which,
I was feeling that, bro.
Which was fine. But what I was going to ask was, because you said him rapping like that, he should uphold it. Do you feel as though there's too much emphasis on the rappers to uphold a certain code as well, or do you think it should be seen as like a job? Like, for instance, when an actor like Wesley Snipes plays the role of Nino Brown in New Jack City, he isn't expected to uphold the full aspects of the street culture in his real life. Is it the same for rappers, or could they be seen as artists, or do you feel that because they hold such an influence that it's different?
Yeah, it's different, man, and we definitely can put Wesley Snipes in this. We can't categorize Wesley Snipes with T.I. We definitely can't do that. You know what I'm saying? So peace
to Wesley Snipes. Wesley.
Yeah, but I'm saying Wesley Snipes is not a gangster or never professed to be a gangster. These guys are actors. Will Smith, Wesley Snipes. We can't Samuel L. Jackson. We can't hold these guys to street codes. Regardless of what role they play. And as far as the rappers, you have to stick to your guns. Yeah, you got to stick to your guns, nigga. Stick to it. And even with T.I., I love his music and stuff like that, man. And he even somebody that I aspire to reach out to. But, I would say this, and I'm not going to sit here and just, run him in a hole or whatever. But what I would say is that, I feel like he shouldn't have did, the Crime Stoppers commercial. I just feel like he shouldn't have did that. I don't think it was snitching. That was, people like, oh, T.I., I don't know why they might say that about him. But as far as, somebody doing a Crime Stopper commercial, that's not snitching. You can call it what you want to call it and try to, shape it how you want to shape it. Who the fuck did he tell on doing a Crime Stopper commercial? I mean, he really manipulated his way out the system. But what I feel like, is that, he shouldn't have done it.
What do you think of Master P, who, made statements on one of his interviews, who said, if he does a crime with somebody, they've got a certain amount of time to come clean and admit it was them, because he's not going to do anybody's jail time, and if they don't, then he'll have no other choice than to and some people, there was a lot of people that agreed, some people disagreed, some people said it's a mature thing to do. Why are you going to take somebody else's time? If they're your true friend, they should step up and take their own time.
I haven't heard that what Master P said, but if he did say that, I disagree. Because once you change your life, right? You change your life. So you shouldn't even be inside a situation like that anyway. You feel what I'm saying? So, but if you do end up in a situation like that, bro, I feel like you can't do that, bro. You can't do that. Look at the many things. You still got millions of fucking records that's spinning right now. Look at all the people that you done inspired down a certain road. Even with the C Murder situation. I'm pretty sure that C Murder always wanted to be like Master P. So man, listen, I don't care where what level you reach, that's just like me reaching a certain level in my life, right? Me overcoming incarceration, right? And I get out of here, and or even back here, and I just become this wealthy dude, this rich dude. I just, my situation just blow out the water. Just because I was once a part of this lifestyle, I have to stick to that code, bro. You can't, that's something that you can't change. The only thing that you can change is your mindset and the path that you're walking. But as far as you sitting down with the police and, putting somebody in jail for the rest of their life because you witnessed a murder or whatever, bro, that's not your position to do that. That's not your position to do that, man. That's not your position, man. You're supposed to still shut the fuck up, man. Nah, bro. I don't feel P. I don't feel P with that one right there, bro.
I know you can't discuss the details of your case, but now I am definitely with you, man. With resources, man, trying to because I don't think that what I'm saying, if you know your situation, you know that you want to get out of there, man. You just keep fighting, man, and reach out to some people on the outside. You know what I mean? It's like it's people in there that got more and more serious stuff going on, man. I know that in your heart that we all could be in that situation. You know what I'm saying? It's like, damn, I mean, that's why, man, body cameras nowadays, a lot of people rolling like that, man, because I know that you need, you want to reach out to these young folks and let them know. I know some of them go see this, this chat, but they need to know that, man, and you in that situation now, let them know, man, this ain't no place you want to be in,
Yeah. Even right now, bro, even with back here, I'm so motivational, man, and such of a influence on, not just, the guys within the parameters of my community of the Muslims or with individuals that's, from my hometown or whatever, but, also amongst the gang ranks, you know what I'm saying? Like, man, so I was just talking to, I don't mean to cut that short, but something else just hit my mind. I was just talking to one of somebody that was like a big brother to me for many, many years, man, and real intelligent guy, man. I don't want to say his name on here because I don't know if he can get to the point yet to where, he ready to just come out and boldly, audaciously do the stuff that I'm doing as far as all of this, and don't care about the administration. And I don't care. It's up with me. I have a mission that I'm attacking aggressively. But I was just telling him, man, the type of curriculums that, the intelligent minds like ours need to come together, and get what we got outside of these walls.
Precisely.
It's good to do the work that we're doing back here, but the type of minds, and I'm not, there's a lot of, intelligent people back here, but it's degrees and levels to everything. Allah says inside the Quran that he created mankind in ranks, and he's not talking about monetarily and, stuff like that. He's talking about intellectual capacity, spirituality and so on and so forth. You may have a lot of intelligent, people, but there's individuals who intellectual capacity exceeds another's, and he's definitely the guy that I'm talking about, the brother that I'm talking about. He's definitely an exceptional figure that needs to, be exposed beyond the boundaries of, these prison walls, man. And I'm trying to get him to, come on out, man. Come on, bro. Come on, let's do it. Because it's for a cause, and it's necessary, man. It's necessary, man. We don't need to let these type of minds die back here and never be exposed, to the people that, it means the most to.
No doubt. I'm pretty sure you're gonna get a lot of ones out there, man. That's what's up.
Yeah, that's real. And like T was saying, what message would you leave to like young people and the listeners and stuff out there, especially from where you at?
Even some of the older brothers, you know what I'm saying? A lot of them, man, they ain't never had a childhood. You'd be surprised, you know what I'm saying? So, man,
I'm gonna be all the way honest, man. This question is, repetitively, is repetitive. I don't think I'll ever do an interview and nobody won't ask me this question. You know what I'm saying? And when people are asked this question, you know, even with celebrities and stuff like that, you ask them that, and the first thing that they say is, "Oh man, keep striving, man," and if you just believe, man, and you just, it's the same damn thing every time. Well, James Wright III got a different. James Wright III got something totally different on behalf of that, and like I just told Charleston White, man, because he asked me the same thing, and again, Allah created people in different capacities, all of us aren't the same. James Wright III, I can give advice to the child, to the youth, but the advice that I can give you is not is no different from the advice that you probably got from your TIs and your Tyler Perrys and so on and so forth. But who I feel like I only can speak to and reach a specific people. This is just me personally. This is how I feel, because sometimes when we talking about ambition, bro, everybody's not ambitious.
That's right.
Everybody's not ambitious, man, and even if people are ambitious, people don't share the same, level of ambition.
They don't have that spirit.
Yeah, and sometimes you have to be placed inside a situation of adversity to bring certain things out of you. That's because right. I grew into this, bro. I look in the mirror sometimes and just be awe-stricken by, enthralled by, who I done became, and this situation right here brought stuff out me that I didn't even know that I even had in me, bro.
Bro, it could have been worse, bro. You could have lost your life out there.
Yeah, but as far as my ambition, like my ambition is murderous. Like I got crazy ambition, bro. Like it's my ambition crazy, bro. So. But I know if I would have never been subjected to a situation like this, I would have never found this type of ambition, bro. So me experiencing this type of adversity, brought this out of me. So I'm not going to sit here and say, well, youth, y'all go out there and kill somebody and come to prison, or do something to catch a big prison sentence and come to prison so you can find this ambition, because you still might not even find it then, because adversity is going to do one or two things. It's going to make you, or it's going to just break you. It's going to bring the best out of you. It's going to bring the worst out of you. You're either going to be, you're going to be one or the other. But what I will say is that, man, be ambitious, find ambition. Go on Webster Dictionary and look up the term ambition. Yeah, bang that in your head, assimilate that instead of the rap music. Matter of fact, I'm glad y'all just asked me that. Y'all just give me a different line to go with this. Yeah. Google ambition. Google ambition. Webster Dictionary defines ambition. These are the exact words. Google it. Webster defines ambition as a deep desire to achieve something. Bang that in your head. Bang ambition in your head. When you find ambition, I promise you will find everything else.
No doubt. Well, that's definitely a dope message. You can't say much better than that. And we're coming to the hour, so we're gonna wind this one down. We definitely want to thank you for your time in that, and we're definitely looking forward to the second chapter with this, where we can touch on some more topics.
Salute, Fonzo, my dog.
Yeah. Right, so man. For y'all checking us out, backthatonline.com. Definitely join us online. If you're on YouTube, don't forget, like, share, subscribe. Hit that notification bell.
Man, before you,
bro, man, I don't mean, bro.
Man, I don't mean to cut you off, but I got to get my book drop in, man.
No doubt, bro.
Paradoxes of Life, man. Hardbacks available, paperbacks available. Man, online. Y'all go copy y'all copies, man. Hardbacks $27.95, paperbacks $19.95, ebooks $14.95. The website is www.frepublishing.com. And man, y'all follow me on Instagram, man, at James Wright the Third. And the third is spelled THA, the number 3 RD. James Wright the Third, man. Incarcerated entrepreneur, man. Salute.
There you have